If you're a creator and you find yourself getting offended by this video, I don't know what to tell you. All I know is only hit dogs holler. This video, more than any other video I've done, requires a little bit of a disclaimer because I'm sure some of you are going to have some interesting takeaways. You might even have some strong feelings, good or bad, and you might even want to call out or name some creators. Before we dig in, let me make a few points clear. One, there are definitely some exceptional content creators here on YouTube, and I've mentioned a few of them before. Two, unfortunately, there's far more crappy content that is put out here, and that frankly does harm to you as the consumer. Three, I don't believe that anyone on this platform is intentionally trying to do harm, but for some creators, the allure of turning their content into a moneymaker or a side hustle is a more important driver of their behavior. And lastly, but maybe the most important distinction I need to make is number four. I'm not simply saying because someone has a large number of followers, they are providing bad content or giving bad advice. The research which I will share is saying the opposite, that the worse the investment advice, the higher number of followers they are likely to have. Let me also be clear, for me, this is truly about one thing, and that one thing in particular is YOU. I say this is about you because my goal is for you to be successful and win financially. I'm an educator at heart and by training. I spent the last 27 years of my life trying to educate and help my students be successful in all aspects of their lives. During that time, I made a pretty good life for myself and my family, not because of my amazing salary, but because of what I've been able to do with my money that I've earned. You've heard me say this before. It's not how much you make, it's about how much you spend and what you do with your money. I didn't start Stackers University or this channel because I had dreams of making quote unquote big on YouTube or because I needed a side hustle so I could go buy XYZ item. I really started this channel because the content on YouTube about investing in precious metals was such trash that it was driving me nuts. It's bad enough our educational system doesn't teach us about money or investing, especially when it comes to precious metals. But when I saw what information was being put out on YouTube, I just couldn't take it anymore.
Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained? Is this not why you are here?
If you don't get anything else from my channel and the more than 200 videos that I've put out, please remember that your financial success in particular is about the information you allow into your head. You have to be vigilant about what you read and listen to. We live in the information age, so getting access to information is no longer a barrier to success. The new barrier to success is making sure you access the right information. A few weeks back, I read this incredible study entitled Finfluencers. I'll link that report in the description. The findings from the study were absolutely incredible. Basically, they analyzed recommendations of 29,000 FinTwit or financial influencers on Twitter. The researchers then placed the FinTwits into one of three categories: skilled, unskilled, and anti-skilled. Let's look at the impact of these three categories, starting with the impact of their advice on investment returns. They found that a majority of finfluencers, 56%, display anti-skill with their investment advice, leading to abnormally low monthly returns of negative 2.3%. Approximately 28% of finfluencers offered valuable investment guidance, resulting in positive monthly abnormal returns of 2.6%. Meanwhile, 16% lack the necessary skills for beneficial advice. In light of those returns, you're probably asking yourself, well, why would people actually follow these people? Well, according to the study, unskilled and anti-skilled finfluencers have more followers, more activity, and more influence on retail trading than skilled finfluencers. The more skilled an influencer is, the fewer followers they tend to have. The research indicates a strong negative correlation between the number of followers and the likelihood of an influencer being skilled. And there was a research from three folks in 2022, and what they found was that when they separated bulls from bears, that social media users follow finfluencers with similar beliefs, and as a result, they live in their own bubbles, a phenomenon called information siloing. They also found social media users then predominantly received information that confirms their existing beliefs, leading to underperformance. Remember, we talked about cognitive bias, and you can't look for information to confirm what you want to believe. You got to look at the information and let the data tell you what it is. They also found that social media users can identify skilled influencers, but they instead follow the advice of anti-skilled influencers with similar behavioral traits of their own. How many times have we talked about behavioral finance and the danger of confirmation bias? This is exactly what a majority of people do. They seek information that feels good and supports what they want to believe, as opposed to objective insights. So these least skilled influencers have more followers, and what is the impact on their content? The more a finfluencer tweets, the less likely they are to possess genuine expertise. The study found a strong negative correlation between influencer skill level and tweet frequency, or in YouTube, it would probably be video frequency. Anti-skilled influencers ride return and social sentiment momentum, which coincides with the behavioral bias of retail investors who trade on anti-skilled influencers' flawed advice. And in addition to unskilled and anti-skilled creators producing negative results, here are some of the other impacts that come from following unskilled and anti-skilled creators. Users that follow anti-skilled influencers thus exhibit overly optimistic beliefs most of the time, overly pessimistic beliefs some of the time, and persistent swings in their belief bias. They also show a reactionary pattern rather than informed analysis. Anti-skilled influencers are more prone to post positive tweets following positive returns and negative ones after losses. Overly optimistic, kind of like, $1,000 silver and $15,000 gold. Pause for a moment and think about what YouTube content was like a year ago compared to today. It's night and day. So what is the major takeaway? We can conclude that on social media platforms, the message is more important than the messenger. That is, as long as there are anti-skilled influencers preaching their message, the investors tend to like their message and are willing to trade on it. So why did I decide to go through this whole video and go over all that data? I want you to resist the temptation to focus on the creators that might fall into the unskilled or anti-skilled categories. For all intents and purposes, those folks are irrelevant. Focusing on the influencers is missing the forest for the trees because it's about YOU. Your financial education is one of the most important aspects of your life and is grossly neglected. You as the investor, you have to own your own results. You have to be extremely careful and intentional about the information you let into your head. The finfluencers put their content out, but you get to decide if you click on it, listen to it, and give it space in your head. Your financial education is what allows you to be the type of investor that can do what is necessary so that you can have the results you desire. The riskiest and most dangerous part of any investment is, as Uncle Rick Rule tells us, to the left of your right ear and to the right of your left ear. In my opinion, the reason why we have so many people selling their gold and silver over the last 6 months in particular is because the prevailing finfluencer advice over the last few years has been the dollar is doomed, it's dead, it's going away, you need to get rid of your fiat dollars, along with the typical battle cries of just keep buying or back up the truck whenever the price goes down. Unfortunately, these same folks never said to their followers, make sure you have 6 months of savings or stack some cash on the side for emergency. Their terrible advice helped create situations where some of the folks had to sell when life happens. And being forced to sell right before prices start to take off is exactly how people fall into the trap of buying high and selling low. Why is this discussed by the stacking finfluencers? Because it's not eye-catching. So if it's not eye-catching, you don't click on their video, which means they can't get you worked up enough to click on their affiliate link, which allows them to make money off of your purchase. One of the brothers from Discord texted me and shared that he got hit with a surprise $8,000 medical bill. And he said, quote, but it's no sweat. See, this guy who makes YouTube videos preaches financial health, and I listened. So there is no emergency, with a smiley face. And that's the truth, folks. You have to be balanced, and you got to make sure you're paying attention to what you allow into your headspace. I don't really care if you watch me, though I do prefer if you do. Regardless, please stop watching and listening to the garbage that is out here provided by unskilled and anti-skilled content creator, because it does do harm. Investing in yourself and your education, just like you invest your hard-earned dollars. As the old adage goes, garbage in means garbage out. Be your own investor, be financially educated, and do follow sound principles of financial wellness and investing so that you can have all the wonderful things you desire in life. In the comment section, what do you think about the statement, the worse the advice, the more the followers? Besides Stackers University, who do you think provides the best content? Or simply give A+ in the comment section so that everyone knows that you always stack smarter and never stop learning.